We are already rolling here at 6:58.
Yeah.
I have never seen you on this show with a T-shirt before. You're slacking today.
Well, you know.
Okay, our special guest. I'm sorry?
It's all about comfort.
That's it. It's been hot, hasn't it?
Yeah.
In your home, even in the afternoons with central air, does it still get hot in your house?
Not in the house, no.
No. I guess we've got some high ceilings in here. In the afternoons, I don't care what I set the temperature, this AC struggles. Of course, I guess this central unit is it's old, but we had a new compressor put in just a month or so ago, but it's still afternoons it struggles. Anyway, our guest, first of all, good evening, everyone. We're a minute early. I was just streaming some little stuff here to give people a chance to join us tonight. Do you have anything special, Kevin, that you're going to share with us tonight?
Well, I have a doll sitting here in case our...
You, a doll?
In case our guest was able to do some kind of reading, but I hear she can't get on.
Well, there's an issue, and all she has is her cell phone. She's in the Netherlands, and I'm trying to at least get it to where. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Okay.
Communicating back and forth here, trying to get this set up. So I think what we're going to have to do is going to have to just do some audio with her.
Okay.
And, because she, my understanding, all she has is her phone. And, in the Netherlands, it won't let her use her mic or a camera. I imagine it has something to do with whatever the service provider is in the Netherlands. So she can get on, but it won't let her use her whatchamacallits.
Yeah. Well, I just added some. Okay.
Okay. If let me try to set this up. Catherine, is she hooking up? Are you hooking up with this gal? Hello?
Look at that look.
Yeah. Are you following this so she can get on audio with us? Are you following this? You're muted. I can't hear anything. You're muted. I cannot hear anything.
I'm trying to. My internet's a little slow.
Oh boy, we got issues tonight. Okay, you let me know when you got her. I'm gonna take you off while you try to get and see if we can at least do audio with her via your Facebook Messenger. Okay, I'm gonna give up. I guess it's you and I, Kevin. This is crazy. This is crazy. So just with you and I, back to us, and I'm sorry, I apologize, everybody. Boy, I've been promoting the heck out of this, and I got a name up here, and maybe they'll figure something out. If not, we're going to plug through something as we normally do. First of all, you say you got a doll you're going to talk about, right?
Well, yeah, I don't know if I've had her on the show before or not, but Amy here with her beautiful purple eyes.
Purple, my gosh, bright purple.
And yeah, I was going to let Madam Angela see if she could read her, but since we can't get her on, I guess because I don't really have a full story for her other than she's.
That's okay. We're gonna find some stories to share.
Yeah.
While you're kind of digging for something fascinating to talk about, I want to talk about my wishing machine for a minute. How's that?
Okay.
So I'm going to play this little bit that I made on it, and then I'm going to stream something else to buy us some time and to I don't know what else to do. since I was really pumped up over Angela, and that's
Yeah.
just not going to happen.
No.
That's not, anyway, sometimes it goes that way. So here is where I'm going next. When this is a done deal, okay? So I'm gonna take you out. Well, it don't matter. You're still on screen, so I can hear you. And I'm just
Okay.
gonna do this. So we got something playing here, and pre-recorded message from me. How's that?
All right.
Uh-oh, I think I messed up. Nope, I got to stop it because I messed up the way I did that.
Okay.
So let's start over. We're having a Monday on a Tuesday. So you're still working from home, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, here
Who
we go.
knows how long?
This should do it right there. So you can do what you need to, and we're going to find some things to talk about and see if they get anything straight. Hey, everybody. Dr. Kelsey here, and I tell you what, I've been working, just taking a break. I'm waiting on paint to dry and a couple of things. I've got to continue this project. This has been the most phenomenal week of change and positivity in my life in a long, long time. I mean, when I say a long time, I mean in a very long time. This has been a horrible year for most people, a lot of people anyway. But mine started July, August of last year. I'm not going to go into detail of COVID-19 and all that stuff, but I've just got to tell you straight up the phenomenal, it just blows your mind. It's what is going on here with this wish maker. I mean, it's just how do I put it? Bottom line is, folks, a lot of people, it's a very common thing. Oh, there she is. Guess what? We have her. I'm going to stop this. And look what we got there. All right. All the way. No, wait a minute. I got to stop this background noise. I'm sorry. All right. Angela.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
In your case, good morning.
Yeah. It's 2:00 now.
Yeah. So.
Oh gosh.
You look pretty good shape for somebody that's up at 2:00 in the morning.
Thank you.
So this guy next to me is Kevin Kane.
Hello. Nice to meet you. My name is Angela.
He is one of my cohorts in all the insanity that we do here.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
He has, that's his website, myhauntedDolls.com. He's got over 300 haunted dolls and other haunted items in that house that he sleeps in right there.
Oh, really?
In fact, he had to sell his garden house and buy a big estate.
Oh,
to hold all
really?
these dolls.
Well,
now,
there's a passion.
I tell him that he is he's got the Graceland of haunted dolls.
Oh yeah, probably.
So I'm glad that we got this going. Thank you. I was very concerned, but it worked. Yeah. So we were just kind of plugging along here, and that works. And this right here is Miss Catherine, who sits in the dark.
Oh. She likes to
All right.
hide.
So, Angela, introduce yourself. Tell people what you're all about, and we'll go from there.
Okay, well, my name is Angela. I'm a medium. I'm a psychic and I'm clairvoyant. I do card readings. I do charm readings. I read energies of people so I can feel and see where they at and how they're feeling and where their blockage are. I mean, like emotional blockage. And when I'm talking to them, I already dissolve some emotional blockage. And what I also do is I can make women pregnant if they can't get pregnant. So I open the energy, I open the aura, so they can get pregnant because I connect them with their baby soul that's meant for them. And that's very beautiful. And every time when I do it, I'm all teary, and I do it with my archangels and with Mother Mary. And during the meditation, I guide the mothers in B to say I guide them so they can feel also the baby soul. And sometimes they also see it, or they feel something, or they see a lot of light and things like that. Even a week ago, women even, I said, I hear a heartbeat, and she said, yes, I feel the heartbeat in my belly, and that was beautiful. That was so, yeah, that's a really blessing when you can give somebody the opportunity to give life. And what I also do is I can heal the womb. So if women have been sterilized and have taken out the womb, I can bring the energy back in the womb, and it's like they have their womb back. So I can bring the womb back, but I can bring the energy back, the feeling that they have a womb again. And that will make them feel again complete like a woman. And because a lot of women lost their identity and the feeling of like a woman, because the womb is something very sacred and special for the woman, because there is the creation of life, creation of all things, and when it's gone, you feel like lost and depression and exhausted and things like that. And yeah, with the energy, I can bring back that feeling like the womb is back. So yeah, I do a lot.
Yeah, and of course I've been to your website, which is
Yeah.
mediumangela.com. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Very easy. So just now keep in mind that in the Netherlands they spell Angela just a little bit differently than we do.
No, that's in Croatia.
Oh, that's Croatian.
Yes, my name comes from Croatia, and it's funny. It means angel. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Now I understand. So let me reword that then. Keep in mind that Angela spells Angela different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you look her up, you got it's ANDJELA and .com, mediumangela.com. And
Yes,
she has a very extensive website. And I understand that you also take bookings on your website. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, people
And
can.
this is your full-time occupation?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
this is my full time. Yes, I do it with all devotion and love, and yeah, this is what I do full time. Yes.
That's fantastic. Now,
Yes.
First of all, I'm going to bring Kevin back with us here. I'll be bringing people in and out, so bear with me a little bit.
Welcome back.
Kevin has his haunted dolls. Have you ever done a reading on a doll, a haunted doll?
No, I never did.
Would you like to try?
I would like to try.
Okay, so Kevin, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you, Angela, and y'all two. Let's see. This will be a first for Angela, so maybe a lot of people collect these dolls. So you may open up a whole new area of people getting a hold of you to say, read my doll.
Yeah, that would be awesome, because then I can say what the gifts are and what is their specialty, and they can use it for their work what they want to do. Yeah,
Yeah,
of
and,
course.
and a lot of
I'm
times, Angela, what a lot of people will want to know is the background of like what child is attached to the doll, where it's a little history. Do you think you can
Mhm.
come up with anything like the history of that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm going to back out. Kevin, it's you and Angela, and what's
Okay.
the name? Amy?
Yeah, this is little Amy.
Hi, Amy. Nice to meet you.
And I've had her for, I guess, 6 or 7 months now. She came from a friend of mine in Georgia who has a whole lot more haunted dolls than me. She has about 600 dolls in her house, and I only have about maybe 300 around in there. But Amy is one of the ones I haven't gotten a really good story on. I feel like she's a little girl, but I'm only partially sensitive, so I can only get so much from them. So yeah, I would love to see if you're able to get any kind of story from her, if she tells you anything.
She tells me a lot. She tells me a lot. She tells me that she's sad and she's feeling very lost, and I hear her saying mommy, mommy, mommy every time, mommy, mommy, mommy. And the first thing what I got with her is Africa. And why Africa? Because maybe there just a minute. I feel that she is good in reading things like things from Africa or voodoo things. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
She's very good at that. She will recognize a lot of things because the first words were Africa, and I was like, "Why Africa? Why?" And then I was talking to her, and then she said, "Yeah, she's good in reading those kind of things like." Um, Okay, she's really good in voodoo things like she can find where something is lost or something happened. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
So it feels like she. Mm, so, for example, there have been a voodoo practicing, and there came a lot of bad energy with it. She can find it. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
She can find it in the way of she knows what happened and where you have to look for more clues. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
She's talking very much like giving clues. I don't know if that's normal with dolls, but it's very like clues like this, here is this, and then you have to make a story of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sounds that familiar? Because I never did a reading with
Well, I haven't, had a lot from her yet. When she first came, she felt like she was happy. And then yet tonight when I brought her in here, I kept getting sort of a kind of a scared, nervous feeling off of her. So
Yes.
I didn't know. But I mean, it sounds like she likes to help you figure out puzzles,
Yes.
things
Yeah.
that are lost and
Yes.
found and things like that.
Yeah,
And
and you will feel that she's helping you, because now I get like I can't almost swallow, and it feels like she's going to help you, and you're going to feel in your throat like something happened, or you're gonna cough or something. She will give you clues with your throat. You know what I mean?
okay.
So when you cough or something, or you feel like then she's giving a clue about something.
So she's trying to tell me something in that
Yeah.
way. Okay.
So Kevin, does that make any sense to you?
It does. In fact, I think I remember Cherie talking about Amy being sort of like a little bit of an explorer. She liked to look around for things, and might be one of those spirits where if one spirit misplaces something on Cherie, Amy and some of the others would be the kind of say, well, they put it over here, kind of squill on them a little bit. It does make sense.
The fascinating thing, Angela, that I noted about you is that there was absolutely no hesitation. You were right in it. There was no pause. There was no, let me think about this. It was like, boom, you were there. That was really amazing to me. Not knowing, I don't know anything about the doll, that part of it. That's up to Kevin. But the way you handled that was like, man, that took no time. It was like instantaneous connection.
Yeah, that's my connection, because I'm very connected to the angelic realm, and they provide me immediately the message that I have to get. So I hear them, I see things, and I can immediately translate it what needs to say.
So it sounds like the minute that we start saying, hey, can you read this doll? This is Amy, that you started immediately getting information at that point?
Because I get, it sounds crazy, but I get in the energy, the energy of the doll. And because I get in her energy, I get a lot of information.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, that's what it's all about. And if you're genuine,
yes, it is.
Yeah. So now, how long have you been doing this? When did you learn? A little more background, and then get my finger pointed right here. Cap joined us, and I want you to talk to her and do some work with her. But before we do that, what I want to know is, when did you realize you had these capabilities? How did you develop these capabilities? Give us a little background.
Well, this is a funny story. I worked in in a hospital for people who were addicted to drugs and they were mental sick. And I remember that it was the last day for me that I was going to her if my contract was going to go further or that I have to stop.
Yeah.
And I remember that night, because I had the night shift, I was like, if I'm going to work here further, I'm going to get also mental sick, because I heard all kinds of stuff and I'm like, oh my God, this is not good for me anymore. And that morning I got fired.
Oh no.
Yeah, so a little bit I called it on myself, but it was also my time, because I went then to women who put cards, and she said, because a friend of mine wanted to go, and I was like, yeah, sure, we can go for you. And she said, yeah, don't you want to do your cards? And I was like, no, I don't want to now. And then she said, I have a message for you, come sit with me. And I was like, okay. And she said, yeah, you're going to do this work and you're going to get very far and you're going to work with babies. And I said, well, I have a background like pedagogy. How do you say it? Pedagogic? Children?
What's it say, Kevin?
You're learning children about, how do you say it? About education and things like that. Well, I had a background also for children. And I was like, my background, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm going back. She said, no, you're going to do it on a spiritual way. And I was like, no, I'm not. And then she said, well, just go buy some cards and just figure out with your friend. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then my friend came to me and she bought cards for me, and I was like, oh no, really? And then she said, yeah, just look, and we're gonna try and things like that. And every week she was with me because I predicted a lot of things, and I was like, I don't know what I'm saying, but okay. And then I went to a shop here in the Netherlands, and there was a woman who did astrology, and she said, did you start just recent with some spiritual things? And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. And she said, I'm going to introduce you to the paranormal TV of Netherlands. And I was like, oh, no, 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 I'm not going to do that. She said, yeah, yeah, I'm going to introduce you, but it will be only on the phone, not on TV. And I was like, okay, okay, we can see. And she also told me that I'm going to work with babies. That was my life purpose. And I was like, okay, we'll see. Well, and then I start working for the TV program, but on the phone, not on TV. And then they said like, yeah, we want you on TV. We get so much good reviews. And that was also my first time when I could talk with the other side when someone passed. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I was like, yeah, I just get the message and about a person who died. And then they said, yeah, you're very good. We want you on TV. And I was like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. And that was 10 years ago. And so I began to develop more and more and more and more. And so now I'm here where I'm at.
So like you're dealing, you say, with archangels, with angels, connections. They feed you information. In a more generalized way of looking at it, can we just say, is it appropriate to say it's all energy?
It's all energy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because people are saying like, how can you do a reading on phone? And I'm in Spain or I'm in France. I say, if you're in front of me or on the phone or whatever, energy is energy. And energy doesn't look at distance. Energy is everywhere. So yeah.
So even with the pandemic, you were able to function because you do it on the internet and so forth.
Oh, I have a lot of work. I have a lot of work because what I do is I'm a light worker. So I bring in people's life, I bring light. So I'm only bringing them positive feelings and positive vibration to raise their vibration that they don't get in the third dimension, because the third dimension is about being afraid, getting sick. And when you're too much thinking about the epidemic and everything, you get sick because you're only worrying and you're not thinking anymore about the future, what it can bring, So, yeah.
Okay, before we move forward here, let me ask you, have you written a book or anything on this subject?
On spirituality?
Yeah. Do you have a book on any of this, any material you published?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I did a lot by myself.
Okay. No problem. I just wanted to ask. Yeah. Kevin has written 11 books, and wow. I will let him promote just a moment, and I'm going to get back with you in a second. But that we got to promote our stuff, right?
Yeah.
There you go, Kevin.
Oh yeah, Crimson, the Blood Painting. That's my most current novel based on an actual haunted painting from Salem, Massachusetts, and it has a creepy story with it. It came from the home of a practicing witch in Salem, and it was just so creepy. I just had to make a novel out of it, to expound on the story behind it. So it's out there on my website, myhauntedolls.com, in paperback if you want it autographed, or you can get it at paperback at Amazon, Books A Million. Also, it's on Kindle, ebook, and it's also on audiobook, Audible and iTunes. So be sure to check that out.
And Kevin has 10 other books besides that one.
That's great.
So he's also got a YouTube channel.
A haunted collection there that tells about some of my ghost, my haunted items. So we'll check that out too.
There you go. Now, I've got a bunch of books out there, but this is the most appropriate one: Dating the Dead and Spectrophilia. And these are not made up stories. the stories in this book are all related by people that claim to have had these experiences. There's a woman that married a ghost of a pirate. There's some religion in here and the way they deal, like the Mormons, Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints, actually marry in proxy for the dead. There's just a lot of interesting and strange things about humans. In Indonesia, there's a culture where they actually dig up the dead once a year, clean up the bodies, rebuild the caskets, and actually hang out with the corpses for a few days before they rebury them. So it's a fascinating book on that end. And mine, in fact, I've got a website called datingthedead.com. And I have a bunch of other books, but a lot of my books deal with relationship issues. And I do a lot of counseling on relationships and that sort of thing. So that's our promotion. Now, I'm going to real quick do Lisa Luna a favor here. She just published her book, Story of Bones, and I have held that book in my hand. That's a fascinating book. If you hadn't got it, contact her, and she's got that out there. Now, she's got it too. Look at that. Already in the Netherlands, she's got the book. Can you see that?
Already.
But Angela, we're jealous. You don't have our books in the Netherlands. All right. Now, are you ready to get deep into the female aspect of what you do?
Yes, I do.
A year ago, this woman right here to the side of you had a hysterectomy. She has had a horrible, horrible time emotionally and physically.
Yeah.
And everything that Lisa told me about you, we're gonna take ourselves off the screen and let y'all have some girly talk on here, and be interesting to see how you deal with that. You said that you make them feel whole again. Is that correct? Am I wording it right?
Yes, that's correct. Only
Okay.
I do that with a healing.
With what? A reading?
No, not a reading, a healing.
Healing.
Okay. Is
Healing.
this something you can talk to her about now?
I can talk with her about it, yes, and I can make her feel whole again. So later on we can do the healing.
Okay.
But now we can talk about it, yes.
And this would be a good opportunity for people to hear what you're doing, and you know, so if they need some help, they can reach out to you, correct?
Yes.
So I put your website, you'll see it down there. Your website is right below her, mediumangela.com. Remember, it's spelled different than our English version. That's a Croatian version of her name, but it's not that hard. Just think Medium and Jella.
Angela.
Jella. Okay. So we're going to back out of here and we're going to be listening, but I'm going to refresh my drink and you gals have a.
Okay.
And he's gone. Hello, Angela. I'm Catherine.
Hello. Hi, I'm Angela. Nice to meet you.
And nice to meet you. Yes, I did have a hysterectomy. It's almost 9 months ago. And I was
fresh.
Yes. And I was only supposed to have an ovary removed, and they wound up doing a total hysterectomy. And I did have cancer in that one ovary. And emotionally, I have not been right since.
No. I just had to swallow because this it goes on my throat because it makes you almost like, what I feel with you is like you want to scream, you want to scream like, why did you do this to me? Why did you want to say so much things, but you don't have the courage. You're so it's like you're so exhausted. It's like you're just a minute. And it's also like I feel your heart chakra, and it feels like your heart chakra is doing this. Like it's all, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's all doing this, and I feel like sorry, I start to cry because I get emotional because I feel your emotions. I feel with you. It's like the feeling of this. It's because you're punishing yourself because you say to yourself, "I never had to do this. I never had. I never had to allow this to my body." It's like you're saying that to yourself. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And because you're repeating it every time, you're hurting yourself so much, so much. And it doesn't heal you. It makes you only feel worse and worse because you're saying that every time to yourself. And the main thing in this thing is that it wasn't your fault. You know what I mean? It has happened to you. You know what I mean? and
Yeah.
and that is the main thing for you, that you understand about the whole thing, that it happened to you, you know. And it's very hard to process this because it's very fresh. But I already feel, while I'm talking to you, I feel already coming energy in your second chakra, and I see a lot of light coming in into it. So it feels like it's like the energy was like this, and now it's like this. Like it feels like a release. You know what I mean?
Sort of, yes.
Because you have so much tension there, and it's like you're doing this, you know, and that's, you have to do this. You have to release it. And the more you release it, the more you get um, uh, relaxed more into it. Give yourself to it. Okay, it happened and you can't go back, but there's a way to heal it because I can do a healing. It's you can look further for your future. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it sounds crazy, but maybe it isn't nice to hear this and things like that, but maybe this had to happen because somehow the womb healing won't only heal your womb, maybe it will also bring your psychic energies more clearer. You know what I mean? Otherwise,
Understand.
maybe you wouldn't come to me, because what I also do is while I'm doing the womb healing, I also open chakras. And when I open the chakras and your energy, you're receiving more messages from the universe because you're not blocked. You know what I mean?
I understand. Yes.
And it's not to give you comfort or something, you know, because it is very, really terrible. Only the main thing is it happened. And now we have to look at a solution. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
you're it's like you're punishing yourself. And how long are you going to punish yourself, you know?
The day that I went in to the doctor's office 2 weeks after the surgery was the day I started punishing myself.
That's
And
crazy.
it's
Hmm.
trying, you know.
Yeah, crying is good. It makes the energy release of your heart. All the pain you had, all the punishing, it's releasing now. You will feel much better because you're going to talk about it.
I always wanted to be a mama.
Oh,
I have one daughter, I always wanted a house full of kids. And I'm very thankful for the one. It just made me angry
Yeah.
because I felt like that I could have kept the rest of it, and he could have just taken the one that had cancer in it, the ovary that had cancer in it. I don't feel complete anymore.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But you're still a woman. You're still you. You're still Catherine, right? You know? And nobody takes that off of you. You're still the person you are. You know? What's taken away can be taken back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have a hard time with this.
Yeah, that's normal. That's normal. And it's beautiful that you're showing it, because I think a lot of women who is watching this and who have taken out their womb or something, or did sterilization and things like that, they feel with you. They know what you're feeling. So it's so, I think you should be proud on yourself that you're saying this, and then that you can talk about it, and you share this, because a lot of women also feel like how you are feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know a lot of women do, and I think that so many women are just jumping into having the surgery done, and they don't realize how life altering it is until it's done. Hormones are horrible. I mean, fluctuation of the hormones is like, wow. I'm now stuck taking a pill every day for the rest of my life. And if I miss that pill, it's horrible. Um, I cannot sit anymore. I sit for more than 5 minutes and I'm screaming in pain. Then I can't stand up. They don't realize that that's there. Um, they don't realize what all the surgery involves. There's, when they remove your cervix, they build you this nice little cuff thingy, and it's not like it was before. And so many women are just jumping into the surgery, and there's like, I don't want to have a period anymore. It's like, I'd much rather have had a period than to have to go through what I'm going through now. It's just, a period's nothing compared to the pain that you're going to have afterwards. And I wish
Yeah.
that they would realize that. And yes, I was so angry at the doctor. It's like, you removed my perfectly good stuff
Yes.
when you only should have removed the one bad ovary. And I still cannot get over the fact that he did that. And another doctor was supposed to be present in my surgery. And I feel like she would have not let him remove it had she actually shown up to my surgery. But she was AWOL. And so, yeah, there's a lot of anger and built up anger that's just it's not gone away. And I'm an outgoing person. And since the surgery, I've pretty much been in my room, locked in my room for the last almost 9 months.
Yeah.
It'll be 9 months on the 19th of this month. Around the 18th, I start getting very almost hysterical. And about the 21st, I start calming down again. But for about a week there, I get I'll say my grouchy period for about a week when it comes up to the anniversary of the surgery. And that's where I stand with that.
That was what I felt with you. It was like you want to scream, you want to, but you can't, because you're exhausted. You're exhausted of the pain, but the most of all, the anger that you have inside of you. And that is what I told you just a minute ago. anger doesn't bring you anywhere. It only brings you pain. You know what I mean? And it's terrible. I feel with you a lot, but the anger is blocking you from living your life. That was what I'm saying. I feel so much like your second chakra is like tension like this, and it has to be like this, you know? So
Yeah.
the more you relax, the more you give to onto it, the less your body will give pain, because all that anger gives tension in your whole body. So your whole body is like this, like keeping the tension, and that is what you're exhausted about.
That's the reason I want to sleep all the time.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because you're angry, you're exhausted. And what I also feel with you is you didn't had how do I say it? It didn't been all happy for you your whole life. So, and then something like this happened to you, you're like, why did you deserve that? You know what I mean?
Right.
And that anger, that all the time asking yourself, and repeating that you can't handle that. You can't handle that anymore. So that's what I said, because the angels are telling me, try to forgive, because it's your pain. You're not hurting anyone, you're only hurting yourself. And you know what the most important thing of everything is, of this part, is that you're now letting now you're how do I say it? Now you're letting yourself into somebody you're not. You're not an angry person. You're not a person that's only crying. You're not a person that is in his room and only sleeping. You're a person, like you said, you like to go outside. You like to go this and this and this, and that anger, what everything made is that it's making you another person. It's making you whole. It's making you like you're not around anymore. You're disappearing. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Hmm.
I do feel like it makes me. I think Kelsey's coming back.
I'm back. That is, and I hope everybody that is watching, first of all, I want to make clear that this is not something that's scripted. This is not acting. This is 100% real. And I want everybody to really feel the compassion that Angela has, and that she, if you're in a room with her, it just feels the room. How's that? So now she's feeling the internet.
Yes.
So, and a lot of things like what we're dealing with here, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Angela, but a lot of things like this are not something you just have 5 or 10 minutes with, and it's good. It takes a progression of time to work through these things. And you don't have to be face to face. You have touched something here with her, and you're on the other side of the planet. You know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Don't remind me.
So we need a little laugh after that, right? But you know, you brought something out there that I think needed to be brought out. I think it's very clear that few minutes you spent there. If people make a note of her website here, I've got it right here on the screen, because she is very powerful what she does. You can look at it as counseling. I don't think, to me, it doesn't matter if you believe that she has angels communicating with her or not. I don't think that matters. If that's where she's getting the information from, just receive it. Okay. However
Yeah.
you think, if you think, oh, she's just a very compassionate person, that's great. You don't have to believe everything that she believes to benefit from what she does. Okay. My friend right over here, Kevin Kane, is a Christian. Okay. And you know, he's a little bit, you know, but
I'm too. I'm too Christian.
the bottom line is that he brings a lot of love and warmth into our lives. He is a very compassionate, caring. He's totally non-judgmental, even though he judges me all the time. My point is I don't have to believe like he believes to receive love from him, to receive benefit from our relationship with him. And he don't have to believe what I believe. And we learn and grow together, and we expand our knowledge. Of course, I don't know how much more of this I can expand. It's already pretty cool.
Big old head.
But the powerful thing is that regardless of whether you think Angela communicates with angels or not, what you just witnessed is a very powerful thing, no matter where she gets it from. And so I just want to make that point, because not everybody believes the same thing. Have you ever heard of a wishing machine?
I think it's like you put a wish and you get it.
Yeah, kind of, sort of, yes. It's sending out intentions. And, you know, people pray, right? People bow their heads and they silently send intentions out to their God.
Yes.
Or to the universe, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin will be the first to tell you that when he closes his eyes and he prays, he believes that his prayers get answered.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin, you don't even have to use the words. You just think them, don't you? And send them out.
Yeah, I can pray silently.
Yeah. So I like to call what I build, and it's commonly known as a wishing machine. I have pumped it up. It was created originally by Dr. Abrams over 100 years ago. And so I call it the law of attraction on steroids. So you're sending your intention out, and it don't matter. The belief system just does not matter. You're going through, you know, Catholics, you're familiar with Catholicism, right? They have the rosary they use to pray with. Mm-hmm. Some people use a prayer cloth. Mm-hmm. Everybody has certain rituals. Sometimes when you're a child, your parents will teach you to kneel by the side of the bed and say your little prayers. So we all have a ritual, because we're ritualistic animals. And there's benefit to that, because repetition of these things gives it power, in my opinion. So anyway, that was a powerful thing there, and I wanted to cut it a little bit short because it was getting pretty intense. But I think the point is made, and I actually think that she got some benefit. Would you say that? Are you with us, Catherine?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
I was turning my phone back on.
So you feel like you got some benefit from that?
Yes. We will talk more afterwards.
Yeah. So they will connect later. Folks, that's her website. Very, very powerful. And keep in mind, this lady is so nice that she's up going on 3 o'clock in the morning in the Netherlands to join us here. Did you see Kevin's eyes got bigger?
I'm usually laying awake.
So, Angela, for everybody here, I want to thank you for doing this, and I hope that you benefit from it. And I want to thank. I know that Lisa Luna is also watching, and she is a friend. You've got her book, and yes, Kevin and I are very envious because you don't have our books. So that's not right. Why am I going to come on the show if you don't have my book?
Well, that's why I'm here. So you can show me your book.
Okay, that's it. Now, so you have so far, that was very powerful. In my opinion, that was very powerful what you did just then.
Thank
And it
you.
should give people an indication of what you're qualified to do, what you're capable of doing. And I think it was very moving and very powerful and a lot of emotion, I think.
Yeah.
You get drained when you do this at the end of it. Do you feel like you have spent a lot of energy on your side?
Well, drained sometimes.
Drained, exhausted, tired.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but it depends on like a reading like this, like with the womb. It doesn't drain me because it gives me energy to put her frequency higher, that she's not in her fear. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That doesn't drain me. It gives me energy to support her and to be here for her, and that gives me a lot of energy.
So I imagine then, according to what you're doing, you could feel energized, or you can go through another routine and feel like you need a break from it.
Sorry?
I would imagine some readings you do, you walk away feeling energized, uplifted, and others you do, maybe you feel tired at the end of it. It's according to,
Yeah, but that's really rare when I have that. That's really rare because when I'm doing my readings, I get a lot of energy because so I can do the readings.
Okay. So now, I would say right now, is 100% of what you're doing internet based, like we're doing here? Is that how you're operating totally at this point, telephone and whatnot?
Telephone and internet, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So outside of this pandemic, the virus, do you ever do face to face over the Netherlands there?
I did that a lot. I did that maybe. Well, I think I stopped now for 3 years to do that. But before I did it a lot, and I went to a lot of events. I went everywhere, and I loved it very much. But that was the thing that drained me out.
Okay.
So on the telephone or internet, I can do the whole day. But when I'm in person, then it's exhausting me because the person is very tired and exhausted, and it's like they're taking my energy like this, and I'm like, okay, now I'm off. Now I can't do anything anymore.
Okay. So how many readings do you do in a day or a week or whatever? How busy do you actually stay with this?
Well, for example, yesterday. Yesterday.
Yeah.
I did, I think 6 or 7 readings.
Okay, so that was a pretty full day.
Yeah, and some were 2 hours, some was an hour, some was a half hour. So yeah, but every time I take a little pause for myself, and then I go back in the energy of the other person. So I can switch very easily. That I'm very happy about.
Do you have a set fee? How do you charge for this?
Sorry?
How do you charge? How do you set a fee for what you do?
How much am I readings are, you mean?
Yes.
Well, for a half hour, my reading is $60.
Okay.
And for the thing for pregnancy, for the woman, things like that, those are $100.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In what area, because you cover, I've been to your website, you cover a lot of different areas from family, relationships, the wound, all these different, what areas do you get the most um, interest in when people contact you? What are you doing the most of?
Well, it's funny you're asking because the most of all are the twin souls readings, the twin souls, card readings, love readings, and energy healing work, energy healing work for twin souls.
Yeah.
But now, since maybe a month, I think, I get a lot of pregnancy questions. Why? Because there was a long time a blockage for women who couldn't get pregnant. And now they can get pregnant. And why? Because our energy, the world, was at the third frequency. And now we're shifting to the fourth. So we're between third and fourth, and we're shifting to the fourth. And in December, we're going to the fourth, really. So from then on, the babies that had problems to come because they're from the fifth dimension, they want to come now because we're close to the fifth, because 4 or 5. And in the third dimension, the children didn't want to come. Why? Because the parents were wearing too much fears inside of them. And these babies that are coming now, the baby souls, they want only love, unconditional love, and a lot of the feeling that they are accepted as who they are, because they will be very high intelligent and they will be very high spiritual, because they come from the fifth dimension. That's only love, and yeah, it's very warm energy, and they want the parents to dissolve their own problems. Otherwise, they don't want to come, because they're like, you have to give me attention and not be with your head somewhere else. I want a heart-to-heart connection, and that is what the babies now want. So it's completely different of what before was, because these babies that are coming, they will be very big leaders, and we need that. We need that a lot, a lot.
So my understanding, to clarify this for everybody that's watching,
Yes.
is that what you are saying is that we have a pre-human existence, correct?
Yes.
And that these babies are coming from, is it the spirit realm they're coming from? Where do they come from? So they're in the spirit world.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so but they cannot come until things are right, is what you're saying, basically.
Yes, the things have to be right with the parents. And when things are right with the parents, it means that the frequency is higher, because the parents don't think anymore in fear. They think only like their desire to have a child and to be in a family with love, you know?
So at that point, the parents that want the child maybe are being a little bit selfish in their thought.
Now, you mean?
Yeah, that's
Well,
preventing the
well,
getting.
it's not selfish. It's more like they doesn't know how to do it different.
Okay.
And because we're going to the fourth dimension now in December, the frequency is getting higher. And that's why a lot of people are starting to waking up. Like, I don't want my life anymore like this. I don't want my work. I don't want my friends like this. I don't want to be in this relationship anymore like this. All the energies of 3D, everything what is based on fear, ego, things like that, is going to be destroyed, because the energy have to be lifted higher.
So the next question I've got is how are you determining these? You know, December's coming up, and that's the 4th, whatever, and the 5th. How does that jive? Explain that.
How do I get my messages, you mean?
Is this like numerology or is it astrology?
No, it isn't. No, it's what I'm saying. When I make contact with the baby souls, they're telling me these things. They're telling me these things. Also, when I do the meditations, the guided meditations with the mothers, they're telling me all those things. And I'm telling this to the parents, and they're like, yeah, I had an awakening. I started to do this. I just started to do this and this. And I'm like, yeah, that's because the baby is with his energy is yeah, connecting with you and giving you directions what you have to do so the baby can come. And a
Okay.
lot of parents,
Yeah.
it's amazing, but a lot of parents say, I don't know how, but I came across your website. I just put medium and pregnancy, and I came with you. And it's funny because I dream the babies when the day after the parents come. Like, we want to get pregnant. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I saw your baby already.
So are these spirit babies,
Yeah.
have they been eternally a spirit? Are they recycled? Is it kind of like reincarnation? Or have they just always been spirits? And how does
A
that
lot
work?
of them always been spirits, and a lot of them been angels. And now they're ready to come on earth.
Okay, so you're distinguishing a difference between spirits and angels.
Yes.
What's the difference?
Well, spirits are it's a different kind of, everything is energy, but spirits and angels are, yeah, how do I say it? Angels are very, very close to God and the angelic realm and everything, Mother Mary and things like that. And spirits are more like your guidance, your protector guidance, and things like that.
Okay, so it sounds like taking from the Bible the temple, King Solomon's temple, and there was a place there that was called the Most Holy, and only the priests could enter this courtyard, and everybody else was kind of out here. So the priests could kind of be like the angels that are kind of up close to God in what was called the Most Holy, and the rest of these spirits, which are not qualified to be called an angel, would be kind of in the perimeter.
Well, the spirits are also like we humans. We have also like our teachers in the spirit realm. You know what I mean?
Teachers,
And,
yes.
and that's
So,
different from an angel. You know what I mean?
okay, so are angels your guides, but spirits are teaching you? They don't really guide you, but they're there to serve their purpose. Two different entities, two different things they do for you.
It's all energy.
Yeah. Okay. So you did this just all come over on you? I know you told a little bit of the history that you kind of fought the cards. You know, it wasn't something you really wanted, but all this other information about the spirits and the angels and all this, did this kind of come on a rush to you, or did you learn this over a period of time?
Period of time, because I do a lot of writing,
Uh
and
huh.
I do a lot of writing with the angels, and I do also a lot of card readings with myself, like
Okay.
oracle cards, angel cards, and then I can reflect on myself, and then I get message from them, and that's how I get in touch with them through meditation and things like that.
Okay. Um, I mean, some of the things that you're sharing. First of all, the readings that you do are phenomenal. I think both these guys would agree, from Amy and on down here. And so, regardless of the rest of it, but everything you're putting together and how you believe all this comes to you, it's you don't really you call yourself a medium, But
Yeah.
isn't a medium somebody that communicates with the dead?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
it is, and that's also how I started, and that's why I called my business medium Angela, and Angela is also really my name, and I was very good at connecting to the other world, but I remember last year I was with a client and she was only talking about her loved one that she missed and things like that, and she was very depressed. And then it came across to me like this isn't what I'm bringing out to the world. This isn't what I want to do anymore. It's lovely to be connected and to get messages. Only the problem is you stay in the past when you still hanging on to someone who's past, and it hurts and everything, but the past is the past. You go on, you go further. And then I was like, it was making me very exhausted, very, very much. And I was like, I don't want it anymore. And I also asked them if they would appreciate that they won't come anymore, because it makes me exhausted, and it's not what I do. I love to give energy. I love that people are getting their passion back in their life and everything. So I was like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. And sometimes they come and I'm like, okay, what do you want to say? And then they're saying what they want to do and say, and then they're gone. So they appreciate it when I said that. They really appreciate it.
So, have you ever conducted a seance?
Sorry?
A seance.
Seance.
A seance.
Like,
A group of people get together to try to communicate with their dead loved ones.
yes, I did on events. A lot of people, because I did it then for free, because it was a free time that you could introduce yourself. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. We can do that.
Right.
And then the most people that came across were people that had doing suicide.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get involved in some pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying it's exhausting.
If I were you, I'd be very exhausted and drink a lot.
I don't drink. I don't drink at all.
Good. All right. I'm Kelsey, and this is Kevin. We are both authors. Even though most of Kevin's books are probably more interesting than mine, one of my more recent books is on grieving and loss. And I have that on Amazon.com. And it not only has the book, which is a pretty good sized book, but it also has a workbook with it. So that if you're not in a position to maybe get proper counseling or therapy, you can work by yourself through this book.
That's
and
beautiful.
really make a lot of progress in overcoming grief and loss. And you have to understand that loss doesn't come just from loss of a loved one. Losing your job, as you can grieve, losing your car, or losing a pet. There's any loss can cause grief and trauma. So that's on Amazon. You just look my name up on Amazon and all my books will pop up there. And the same thing with Mr. Kevin Kane. He's got all his books you can buy through myhaunteddolls.com. So support the Poor Authors Club here. One of my favorite books is not a fiction book. It's called Dating the Dead and Spectrophilia. And if you don't know what spectrophilia is, you're going to have to buy the book. So you can learn. But anyway, so help us out. Datingthedead.com, myhaunteddolls.com. And of course, we do this every Tuesday night here on Facebook, Abnormal Alabama, and on YouTube, Abnormal Alabama. Simultaneously, we're streaming at both places. If you missed part of what we do, it's archived. You can go back and watch it anytime. And that means, Angela, that if you want to share this on your social media or share it on your website, you can grab it off YouTube and share it where you want to share it. Okay? Feel free to do that. Angela, mediumangela.com is where you find this lady. So look her up as well. Now, do you feel like talking with someone else for a moment?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So here is our friend John.
Hello,
And,
John.
Hello.
He's been messaging me relentlessly since we started the show.
Yeah, relentless.
He said that, John, I think you said that something negative popped up in your life here, and you want to talk to her about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to remove us and let y'all talk for a minute.
Okay.
So otherwise, I'll be too tempted to interject too much.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
I recently, well, it was just today, I had a friend die on me and all, and it's been kind of hard to, what do you call it, stay focused.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess his leg was really bad, and getting sepsis in his leg, and just stubborn, didn't want to go to the hospital, and kind of kept it all from me. I had this feeling, you need to call Randall, and I didn't, because I was, really busy. I'm a caregiver for my son, and I just kind of pushed that aside, and I didn't know his leg was really bad, and it wound up, his leg was like all purple, and he had a white spot on his leg, and his wife finally took him, and just out of the blue, when she was dropping her kids off at band camp, because they're both in band, when she came back, they were already calling her saying that he, coded out and everything. So this death is kind of, how do I put it, heart-wrenching.
Oh, I'm
Because
so sorry.
because I was really, really close with him, but it's like I can't focus on the things I need to do, and I have been on, me and my friend Jason, we've been doing a podcast and all that, and we're with the Phenomenon Seekers, and, I want to do, live, like, investigations, but, I don't want to let Jason down. It just feels like I'm all over the place, mind-wise. It's like I can't stay focused. And I didn't want to, kind of interrupt the show. It was like I was running late because I had people calling me because he died yesterday. So I've been like, talking to people and all that. And I told him, I said, I'm kind of busy. So I had to kind of excuse people out because I really wanted to do this podcast because I didn't know who was going to be on the show and all that. But it's been really hard as of late. Now, I don't want to freak out my friend Jason. It's just like I have dreams of how I want my podcast to go, but it's just been really rough. And this just happened out of the blue. If I would have known his leg was that bad, I would have took him to the hospital, as a friend. But
John, I'm gonna say something here. It's hard for me not to.
I know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But there is a time and a place for everything under the sun, as they say. And what I've learned throughout my life is that if the time's not right, you just need to back off and let it go.
Yeah.
The right time will come. There's things that I wanted to do 20 years ago that I never got to do, but 20 years later, I'm doing something even better and greater.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Regardless, the universe can guide you if you allow it to. But if you try to be a control freak, what's the book that started out the best laid plans of men and mice? The point is like, let go. You know, I'm saying this because I know you and I know what you would like to do and whatnot. But you know, I'm the old guy here, and life has taught me that sometimes you just got to pay attention, and doors will open up. There's things that I wanted to do, but I never could envision some of the things I got to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just came out of the clear blue. It never was a thought. I've got a career I've had for over a dozen years that I never dreamed of. I retired young, and I got bored quick because I don't fish, I don't hunt, I don't like sports. So what does an old man do, right?
Yeah.
And next thing you know, because of my background in theology and whatnot, somebody came along and said, put yourself out as a wedding minister. And I thought, you can't make any money as a wedding minister. Well, I was wrong.
Yeah.
And that was not thought of mine at all. I had to be open for those opportunities.
Yeah.
Okay. If you look at the first website that I built for that wedding ministry,
Yeah.
you would laugh and think, why the hell would anybody call this guy? It was a joke. I had little butterflies flying across the screen.
Yeah.
So don't push. First of all, I just wrote this book on grieving. I think you've probably seen me put it up on the internet. The point is that allow yourself to grieve.
Yeah.
Allow yourself some space. You're not in this world to take care of your friend, and he, if he's your friend, will understand where you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So all I can say from my experience in life is sometimes you just have to say, I got to let go.
Yeah, Kelsey, I mean, upon that, there's so many boats that I've had, you know, that are heading out to sea. And it feels like I'm running around and I don't know which boat to get on.
And that's the problem. You don't worry about it. So you're overthinking it.
Yeah.
You're overthinking it.
I know.
Yeah.
So, John, I outlived all my family by the time I turned 50. My mother died the day before my 50th birthday. I still miss her. I miss them all.
Yeah.
I still deal with that. But the point is I'm going to join them soon enough.
Oh, yeah.
You know the number one cause, John, do you know the number one cause of death? It's birth.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that does make sense because, you know, you're born, but you're destined to die, you know?
Yeah, that's the minute you're born, we're working toward that goal.
Yeah. I mean,
what's in between there is what counts.
Yeah, that's what
every
counts.
moment is precious. Okay.
Yeah.
So you just went through this horrible experience. Give yourself time. Get this podcast off your mind. It's not the right time.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And something, either it will become the right time or something better will come to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate your wisdom.
My personal opinion is you're trying too hard.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know. I'm running out. You know, I guess it's like I'm 50 years old. I should be.
You're 50 years young. Look at me.
Yeah, I know.
Don't even talk about old to me. Jeez.
I know that, but you've done so much in your life, and I respect you a lot, Kelsey.
And you know what? I'm going to keep doing until I drop.
Yeah, I know you will. You won't stop. You're like a little train that just, cannot stop. You know what I mean?
One day I'll be forced to stop, but until that day comes, I'm going to keep trucking. But John, listen, take a breath. Give yourself a hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the one thing in life you can't live without?
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, that's the thing. Myself.
So you got to learn to love yourself, forgive yourself. Okay. And I'm sorry, Angela, I kind of took over on that.
No.
Beautiful what you said. It's just my mindset. I could also tell that to him. So it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So
That
we're on the
is.
same
Thank you, Kelsey, so much.
Well, when the virus is over with, I see, I'll give you a hug. But right now, I'm scared of you.
Yeah, I mean, would you still hug me if I had a mask on?
And get a hazmat suit.
Yes, man. Okay, I can wear that. I can find one. I can try. No, that's
But
funny.
yeah, the first, the hardest thing that we have to deal with in life is forgiving ourselves. And number two, we have to quit taking responsibility for everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know Jay, and you and him have been buddies for a long time. He's not
He's
gonna hold it.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a brother to me. You know.
So he's not gonna hold it against you if you don't get a podcast done this Sunday. Trust me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
So you need to let it go, and you need to give yourself time, and don't blame yourself for this death.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
That's not what you need to do.
Okay.
We could hindsight is 20/20, and you
Yeah.
can't change the past. You learn from the past and you move forward.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're
So,
right.
Yep. And you're like me. You get tired. I'm a caregiver. I get exhausted, and I can be ugly, and I don't like being ugly. But we're human.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do funerals well. I really don't. You know, after my mom died, it burned an image in me. You know, it's like I don't do funerals well. I really don't.
Well,
Hey, Catherine.
the couples that I marry, in some of my ceremonies, I tell them that the secret to success in a marriage is a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
Really, that's the secret to success in life, is to
Yeah.
learn to laugh. Laugh at yourself, laugh at the world. People look at me today and they say, when did humans get to be so ugly? Look at the world. You know what I
Yeah.
say? I go back and I say, have you ever studied history? Humans have always sucked.
You're
It's
all right.
nothing new. We got the Inquisition, right?
Yeah.
And
I just want to thank you all personally, and
Have we-
for your all's friendship. I mean,
all right.
you know,
She disappeared and she came back. I don't know what happened there.
she's going
All right.
over the other side of the screen.
You know who I am.
You remember that video I posted the other day with
You talking to me?
with the little ghost that jumps out in the ceiling?
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking to John. I screamed so loud while I was watching that video, and then I just died laughing at myself because I was like, I was expecting it, but I didn't know when it was happening, and I was so ecstatic because I'd not laughed so hard at myself in forever.
Oh man.
I'm Kelsey. This is Kevin. That's Catherine. And this is Angela, Medium Angela, all the way from the Netherlands, who has joined us here at, what do we got? 3:30 in Netherlands time. So
Wow.
Yes, it is.
she doesn't drink, but I guess the bars are closed by now anyway. So real quick, change the subject just for a little bit here. Things can get pretty heavy in this kind of stuff. How are things in the Netherlands, and how have they handled it as far as the virus, COVID-19?
Oh, you really want to know that?
Oh, yeah, we got to have something to compare the United States to.
Yeah.
Well, some big places you have to wear your mask where it's a little bit too crowded. But overall, in the supermarkets and things like that, you don't have to wear it. it's your own responsibility if you wear it or not.
So
And so yeah.
how are the numbers? How is it going? I mean, are there a lot of cases, a lot of people dying? What's happening?
Well, a couple days ago, they said it was 158, and they said it was a lot, but they say they're not going to do anything. They're just going to see what is happening and what is going on.
Okay. Well, ours here is judged. Each state is kind of making up their mind what they want to do. In Alabama, where we are, you're required to wear a mask anytime you're out in a building in public. Walmart, grocery stores, whatever, you're supposed to wear a mask. Not everybody does that, but the majority are, I believe, from what I've seen. Kevin, his job a long time ago, months ago now, he's working from home.
Yeah.
So he don't have to commute to work anymore. So I guess it's been a lot different here, but it's just curious to see how other countries are handling it and what's going on. Now, on the next note here, Angela, you do, hold on a second, let me kind of review this. This is what I wanted to ask. Twin souls. What is twin souls?
Twin souls are people who connect with each other from the heart. And there are not a lot of couples like that. It's mostly soulmates. But when you have a twin connection, it's like you can read and write with each other without saying something. It's like you're so connected that you telepathically connect, that you don't have to say anything. It's like you're looking at each other and you know how things are going.
I understand. So
it's on a higher level. It's on a higher level and love commitment. It's very strong. It's very strong. And most of all, it's like they're saying something and the other is like, oh, I wanted to say that. You know, they're so connected. They're so on the same frequency, on the same. They're so attuned with each other that there's nothing what's between them.
So what do you do for them? You've got that on your page, twin souls. So what happens? Do these twin souls call you, and do they? What's going on? What are you doing for that?
Well, one of them is calling always. It's not the both. It's always one of them. It's the man or the women, and they're like, okay, I want to know what's happening with the other, and then I'm telling what's happening and everything. And when they get together again, it's like the person that does call and search for things like that, that is the person that is already awake. The other person is still like a little bit sleepy, in terms to say in spiritual world. It's like they're not conscious of what's going on in their life and things like that. And then the twin wakes them up, and they'll be like their teacher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so you do the twin souls.
Yes.
I think family coaching is pretty much self-explanatory. What about ladies' night? Do you all actually go out somewhere? What's ladies' night?
Well, ladies' night is you're doing. That was what I did before, one-on-one and with a lot of ladies. They gather together, and then I did readings, and then I was teaching them to read cards. It was very nice. It was awesome. It was emotional. It was humor. It was amazing. But now I do ladies' night with it's spiritual night with on Zoom. So you get together all people, and then you connect with each other. And the one reads cards, the one does this, the one does wants to have a reading on themselves or something, and they're all together, and it brings a high vibration. It's awesome. It's awesome.
So you cover and talking to you, watching you, looking at your website, you've got pregnancy and wound. That seems to be kind of a unique specialty with you. I've dealt with a lot of tarot card readers. I've dealt with a lot of psychics and so forth. I've never seen anyone. I'm not saying you're the only one. I just personally have not seen anyone that is specializing in wound care and fertility issues and that kind of stuff. That kind of is that kind of unique to you? Is anybody else out there specializing in that?
No, not that I know.
And now you got to add a new place on there.
Sorry?
You got room to add another new place?
A new place?
Yeah, new. You know you got all those. Have you got room for another circle on your website there? You got wound, twin souls, family coaching, children, ladies' night. You got to add one more. You already forgot what that is?
The dolls.
Doll reading.
Yeah, I said it. Oh. The doll.
So you just put spirit dolls or haunted dolls? Because there are big groups of people. Kevin's not alone in these dolls. And they will post a picture of a doll, Angela. They'll post a picture of a doll and they'll say, do you get anything? Well, now they can get a hold of you and they can say, do you get anything? And Angela will be saying, oh, yes, I do.
Just like I did for Mary.
Yeah. Amy.
Amy. Sorry. Amy.
Yeah. So, do you have, Angela, any interesting, scary, fascinating story that you can share with us from your experiences? You don't have to give the names if you don't want to, but just something that's phenomenal, mind-blowing experience.
Something scary or something?
Something phenomenal. It doesn't have to be scary. Just be interesting, fascinating, whatever.
Well, the fascinating story was with a woman.
I'm going to give you the stage for a minute here.
Oh. Okay. It was very special. It was with a woman. She couldn't get pregnant also. And what I did was I connected her with the baby soul. And I said, I don't know why, but I see a lot of gold color. And she said that she understands it because when oh, I hope I will get this because my battery is very low. It's 5%. Oh no, and it doesn't want to load because my phone is too hot.
Is your phone dying? Well, let's then do this. Angela, thank you so much for having joined us. And may we do this again sometime?
Yes, whenever.
Maybe what we need to do is get you and Lisa and Susie on at the same time.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So let's see if we can schedule that, and that'll just be girls' night. And Kevin and I will just have to sit here and look at you guys.
I'll just take the night off. So.
There you go. Kevin's saying he wants to take a break from me.
Just can't handle most women.
So again, her battery's going dead. So an hour and a half. We appreciate it very much. And it's like 20 minutes, 4 o'clock her time. The sun will be coming up there. What, another hour?
Yes.
I hope you have some dark curtains in your house.
And
Um,
I will be
everybody-
posting. I will be posting this video on my hysterectomy sites.
if you go
share with
to
my friends.
Abnormal Alabama on YouTube, this show is archived there, and you're welcome to grab it and use it as you want to. Everybody that has been watching this, if you want to go back and watch it, it'll be archived on our Facebook page as well as YouTube. So you can learn a lot about this lady. I think she's a very fascinating lady. And again, I can't thank you enough for having stayed up just about all night just to be with us. So
It was my pleasure.
I hope a lot of people have learned about you and more about you and what you do and how you can help people. So thank you very much. On the last few minutes, Kevin, have you had a chance sitting there doing nothing to come up with some interesting story?
Oh yeah, I've got a story here that I could share.
So Kevin loves to tell stories. He's going to tell us a scary story. You want to hang around till your phone goes dead?
I hope that I will make it because it's 4% and I'm every time putting the battery again in it. So I hope it gets, but my telephone is, I don't know what happened, but maybe because of the spirit, the energy, all of the energies.
They say that happens. It drains the batteries, right? So in case you lose your battery,
My
we'll
internet's
say good night or good morning. But if you want to stay on and listen to Kevin for a minute, that's cool. We'd love to have you.
I would love. I have 3%. I hope we will made it.
Okay, so Kevin, what are we gonna talk about, Kevin?
Well, I've got this scary story I shared on my podcast about the scarecrow. I always thought scarecrows were creepy, you know. And so I'm going to go ahead and share this story like I shared on my podcast. It is called Scarecrow. And whether it's actually true or not, I'll leave it up to the audience to decide on that. But it starts like this. The old farmer had built the scarecrow himself, and it was a fearsome sight. He spent months working on it to make it as scary as possible. He knew how important it was to keep pests away from his crops. So he gave it enormous straw arms that stretched out about 6 feet and big long legs that made it as tall as a tree. But the scariest thing about the scarecrow was its head. The farmer carved it himself out of a huge pumpkin. He spent countless days and nights perfecting his design until it was perfect. The scarecrow's face and head was so grotesque and ugly that even he was sometimes scared to look at it. But it was very effective, scaring away every rodent and bird that ventured near. The neighboring farm was owned by 2 young people who were brothers named Josh and Harold. They were lazy and never did much work around the farm, which resulted in their crops being bad. They were jealous of the old farmer's success and were plotting against him. If they could drive him out of business, they could take over his farm and make more money. So one night, the brothers decided to sneak out onto the old farmer's land. They stole his prize scarecrow and brought it back to their house, where they stuffed it into an old closet so nobody would ever find it. The next day, the farmer woke up to find his hideous scarecrow missing, and all his crops were eaten by rats and crows. He fell to his knees and cried, knowing that his farm would soon be out of business. Meanwhile, the brothers Josh and Harold were watching from their own property and couldn't help laughing out loud when they saw the old man's tears of grief. Hearing the laughter, the old farmer came over and asked them if they knew what happened to his scarecrow. The brothers looked him right in the eye and said they had no idea where his precious scarecrow might be. But you know I'll go out of business and have to sell my farm if I can't find my scarecrow, said the farmer. Josh just laughed in his face, saying, that's your tough luck, isn't it? Sucks to be you, giggled Harold. The old farmer walked slowly back to his house, his head hanging down in defeat and depression. That night, as Josh and Harold had trouble sleeping, not because they felt any remorse, but because they couldn't get the image of the Scarecrow's horrible, twisted face out of their minds. They decided they would never be able to sleep as long as that ugly pumpkin head was in their house. So they got up and dragged the Scarecrow out of the closet. Harold took a baseball bat and smashed the Scarecrow's head to pieces until all that was left was little bits of pumpkin strewn around the floor. The brothers swept up the pumpkin head pieces and threw them in the trash. Then they went back to bed and were soon fast asleep, having put all thoughts of the disgusting Scarecrow face out of their heads. Sometime after midnight, Josh and Harold were awoken by the sounds of scratching and clawing at their bedroom door. "Did you forget to put the dog out?" asked Harold sleepily. "We don't have a dog," stammered Josh. Suddenly, the bedroom door burst open, and a solitary, long, straw arm snaked in through the opening. Then a second arm thrashed around, followed by two long stick legs. The two brothers were frozen in fear and could only look with horror as the headless Scarecrow's body rose up on its stick legs and its long arms reached out in the darkness. Harold felt a cold, sinewy straw claw close around his ankle and screamed as loud as he could. He begged his brother Josh to help him, but Josh was already running out of the bedroom. Fleeing in terror, he ran down the hallway, crashed through the front door, and out onto the moonlit road. He ran as fast as his legs could carry him, puffing and panting and screaming at the top of his voice as he passed his neighbor's house. He saw the old farmer standing at his gate. In the moonlight, he could see the farmer just staring at him with a strange smile on his face. Josh kept running, his bare feet slapping against the rough gravel road. He glanced back over his shoulder and saw something that scared him to his very soul. He saw the Scarecrow running along the road close behind him. It was gaining on him, coming closer and closer. And that was not all he saw. He noticed that the Scarecrow had a brand new head, and it looked a lot like Harold. The end.
The end. Oh, wow.
I
We so our latecomer here, John Worley.
Yeah.
John, you're more into Bigfoot than the paranormal, or are you kind of equally divided among it all?
Equally divided.
What's your favorite? If you had to pick something to do tonight, you had all the freedom of the world to do whatever you want to do as far as the paranormal is concerned, what would you do this night? I'm coming to pick you up. Money's no object. Time is no object. What do you want to do?
I always been wanting to investigate Portland. I've heard a lot about that place.
Okay, you're kind of faint. I can't hardly hear you.
Portland? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Portland.
Yeah.
And what is that? I'm lost.
I've always wanted to investigate that place because of Bigfoot.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You know.
Now what were you saying, Kevin?
Huh?
No, I was just saying, I thought he said Portland.
That's what I thought he
around
said.
the Portland
You're
area.
you're very faint. Your voice is like real weak.
Okay, I'm sorry. I said Portland, Oregon. Is
Oregon.
that
Oh,
better?
okay. You want to go out to the Pacific Northwest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful country out there. And it's supposed to be Bigfoot country.
Yeah.
So But then again, they say that Evergreen, Alabama is Bigfoot country, and they say that Talladega County and out there is Bigfoot country. Have you ever been up to Mount Cheahaw?
No, I haven't. I've been
Oh,
really
boy.
wanting to go that way.
They even sell Bigfoot stickers up there. That's how Bigfoot they are.
Yeah.
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 Fascinating country up there. Beautiful country, too. I do a lot of weddings up on
Yeah.
that mountain. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now Kevin
I've
is
heard a
more
lot
into the
about that place.
I think Kevin is like I am. I don't think that he got into the cryptids too much. It was mostly the paranormal, ghost, and so forth. Even though we've done a show or two that we talked about scary creatures too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like good Bigfoot stories and Loch Ness Monster. And every time I go to a lake or in the woods, I'm wondering what could be out there that I can't see, but it can see me. So the ghosts are my favorite topic.
Yeah. I
Ghost,
mean,
ghost is your
paranormal
favorite topic?
is really
Yes.
Cool. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
Really,
Yeah, and so there's a lot of people that think that Bigfoot is not an earthly creature.
Yeah.
That it is kind of in a different realm, and that it's communicating with aliens or something. How would you describe that? Do you know anything about that, Kevin?
Yeah, I just heard that last night. What was I watching? Somebody was talking about people think it's they call it an interdimensional being.
There you go, interdimensional. Yeah.
And that's why it's able to disappear so fast, is that it goes back to its other
And
realm.
it's always blurry because of that vibrational thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People can't hold a phone steady.
Have you heard that, John?
Yeah. I actually watched a newer show. It has the Osbournes in it, and they basically, Jack was saying that Bigfoot was wearing an alien was wearing a Bigfoot outfit, basically.
Ah.
And Ozzy said that's a
I
bunch
just
of
think they're
rubbish.
super fast.
Yeah.
Okay, that's too funny. That's too funny. That brings me to my book right there, Dating the Dead and Spectrophilia. And the reason I bring that up is, John, in that book is a story of a woman that claims to have had sex with Bigfoot. Now, from her telling of the story, his feet are not the only thing that's big. So,
And Harry was his last name Henderson?
Harry Henderson.
now, last week, he's got a new painting in his house here, The Crying Boy.
Yeah.
And what is the backstory of this guy here again? Why is this spooky? Is this spooky at all?
Well, the one I have I haven't had any problems with it, but in a nutshell, the story allegedly is that a painter painted what they would call a street urchin or a homeless child back in Germany during the World War II era, and the child apparently had, his family had lost a lot, and that's why he was on the street crying. So the painter painted him just to show the misery that the war had caused. Well, unfortunately, that night, that little boy and his family died in a fire. So after that, supposedly, wherever this painting went, the place would catch on fire and everything would burn except the painting. Supposedly, years later, modern times, a couple bought a copy of this painting and hung it in their home in Florida. And a few nights later, the house caught on fire and it burned to the ground. Luckily, they were not in it, but everything burned except for the painting. It didn't have a mark on it, not a burn, not an ash, anything. Just laying there, clean and as a whistle. And so, yeah, a lot of people have claimed their houses have caught on fire whenever they hung this painting inside. Now, I say it's an urban legend. I mean, Zach Bagans has one hanging in his museum in Las Vegas for the last couple of years, and it's not burned down. I've had a week now, and I haven't seen any smoke anywhere.
Except when he lights up that cigar.
Well, I do that outside anyway, but I haven't even done that in a couple of years. But oh, there's my Patty Doll book.
So
Look at that.
what is this?
That is the novel written based on my very first haunted doll, Patty, back in 2013. She was the doll that started it all, the first in my collection. And her story was so sad and yet so sweet. I had to make just a book about her. And so it's a fictional novel, but it's based on her actual story, the real Patty, who was the daughter of a prostitute, and her mother practically abandoned her, left her at home alone at night, and she died accidentally from ingesting some drugs. But I decided to make a book for her in her honor. And there's my haunted collection that's the true stories behind the items I first collected back in 2013 and 14. And that little boy right there on the front cover is from the Island of the Dolls in Mexico. I've got 4 dolls in my collection now from the Island of the Dolls. And there's the Legends of Indian Narrows, the book that tells the stories about my childhood neighborhood that I grew up in West Jefferson. And what got me started enjoying ghost stories. And it includes the house I grew up in where we had some spooky goings on. So the first chapter of that book tells about that. And there's Tammy Baby. That's the second haunted doll novel that I wrote based on an actual doll in my collection from St. Louis, who's the little girl Tammy. Her stepsisters drowned her accidentally. And I decided to write a book to give her a little payback toward them. So that's a novel based on actual incident. There's my website, myhauntedDolls.com, myhauntedDolls.com. You can buy my books or follow the link to my YouTube channel so you can watch my videos.
So, yeah, and well, let's get the last plug in here on this. It's audio book and a Kindle, and also if you want the paperback, he will autograph it for you, and you can buy it from him directly on his website. Hopefully by 2021 we'll be able to start going back to conventions and whatnot, and you can meet us for for $100 bill. We'll take a selfie with you. For $500, we'll sign the book for you.
Man,
For $1 million, we'll go home with you.
I'll go to dinner.
Yeah, I'll come up with that money right away.
Kevin has a slew of books out there, which is awesome. And there's Carl Green says that right there. Mwah.
Mwah.
Mwah. So anyway, I think it's been a pretty good show tonight, and some of it was pretty intense, to say the least.
Yeah.
Kevin's going to keep on till he has all $300 read by a psychic or a medium before it's over with.
That's a lot of work.
And I don't know if we still have an audience with Angela, Lisa, and any of them, but again, thank her for staying up in the wee hours of the morning from the Netherlands and joining us. A very interesting show, to say the least, and very powerful show. A lot of emotion shared more than once. John, our hearts go out to you. Again, the best I can tell you is get up, keep moving, and don't blame yourself for things you can't change. And don't let the universe guide you. As Kevin would say, let God guide you. Let the Holy Spirit guide you. Whatever your belief system is, whatever is out there, give in to it.
Yeah.
And don't try to control it. You don't know. Like I said, when I was your age, how old are you, John?
I'm 50.
Oh gosh, oh man. Um, when I was 50, I had wedding minister. You got to be kidding! It thought never crossed my mind, even though I had done weddings in my life. And the last over a dozen years, I've made a career out of it. It's been very good to me, except for this year when there was no wedding. But the point is like, don't assume anything. The universe, and as Kevin would say, God may have something in store for you that you never thought of.
Yeah.
Be patient. 2 years ago, Kevin never knew anything about this house he's in.
No.
So you don't sweat it. And if Jay, I know, is your friend, he's with you.
No, I
Chill.
know he is.
Take it. Quit trying to control it. Give yourself an opportunity to grieve. Forgive yourself. Tomorrow, we move on, right? So I just want to share that with you because our hearts are with you. I've suffered a lot of loss in my life, but I have to get up every day and continue on. But thanks to these friends that I've developed, like this big-headed guy over here.
Over there.
Even though Kevin and I never even see each other anymore, he doesn't know how much of a part of my life he's become. Okay, so those, you're touched in a lot of ways by people, and you touch a lot of people you're not aware of. So accept that. You don't never have to give Kevin words of encouragement. He's so connected with the spirit that he just is on top of the world 24/7. Don't let him fool you, though. He has a temper from hell.
Oh man!
I can see him now when he loses.
Kevin.
You know what he does? See, look. When he loses his temper at home, you know what he does? He grabs his skull, a cigar, and a shot of whiskey and goes out.
I don't see him doing that.
It is now 9 o'clock. I am tired. I've been a long, long day, but thank you all for joining. Catherine, I hope you got something good out of that.
Thank you.
John, keep your chin up. Don't let this old world beat you up.
Thanks.
You're not going to get out of it alive anyway.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I know.
And Kevin, I still got to come over there and take a tour of your house sometime.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I need to do that too.
Yeah. Till next week. Now, what I want to do, and I think it'll be fun, Kevin, you tell me what you think, but these girls would like for Lisa, Susie, and Angela to join us all together tonight.
Okay.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun to watch.
We'll have a phone thrower. All the above. So that'd be fun. Everybody have a wonderful,
And we may
wonderful
have
night.
a medium with it.
Peace and love.
Yeah.
I do my Ringo Starr thing. It's peace and love.
It's love.